Hello! This morning, a patient asked me a question, as they're wont to do. What was the question? The question today was, why do I hurt when the weather changes? When it feels like it's going to rain. I get this ache, these joints and pain. The answer has to do with barometric pressure or atmospheric pressure. Although we can't see the air around us, it actually has weight. We don't really notice because we're in it all the time. But when we do notice an increase of pressure is when we go to the ocean. When you're just swimming around on the surface of the ocean, there's not a lot of weight of water on you. But the deeper you go down, 10, 15, 20, 50 feet, there's a limit to which our bodies can tolerate the weight of the increasing density of the water above us, and it begins to squish us. That's an example of it being under tremendous weight. Your body is very sensitive to changes in pressure if it's below water. Now, after an injury, it's sensitized to changes of pressure in the air. So at the surface of the planet, the atmosphere is pushing down on us, and we keep track of that through barometers. Barometer is like an inverted tube, and there's mercury that's in the tube, and as the atmospheric pressure pushes down on the mercury, it goes up the tube. 30 millimeters of mercury is like kind of a normal range. When we have these hurricanes hit, the barometric pressure drops drastically in the hurricane, and it creates all kinds of problems. When rain is coming, the barometric pressure, atmospheric pressure drops. So let's say you have an old injury from years ago. Say we injured our elbow, and the elbow is supposed to be a certain diameter. And the nerves that are wrapping that elbow are used to living in that size. And if suddenly there's a trauma and your body does what it's supposed to do after trauma, it inflames and swells. If this joint swells and the diameter increases 20 or 30%, then all of the nerves that are in the skin start stretching further than they were designed to, and they don't like that. They become sensitized to the change of diameter. So as the old injury heals and the swelling goes down, maybe you put some ice on it and it heals over time, then 3 years later or 4 years later, the barometric pressure drops. And when it drops, we actually expand a little bit. We are not blocks of stone. We are actually changing depending on our environment. So if the atmospheric pressure is less, that means there's less pressure pushing down on us. If it begins to rise, we actually have a little more room to spread out a little bit. It's only a millimeter or two, but it's enough to actually change the diameter of your entire body, including the old injured site. The barometric pressure drops, and we expand a little bit, and if that old injured elbow begins to go out a little, those nerves are sensitized to those changes from those injuries long ago. They respond, and you begin to feel an old ache, the old football injury, Aunt Clara's hip. As the barometric pressure goes back to normal once the rain has come and passed, once it sits back at a normal level, say around 30 millimeters of mercury, then the joint will recover its normal diameter, and then the nerves calm down, and then the pain goes away to come back on another rainy day. So that is why the weather can affect your aches and pains. Hopefully you found this interesting. I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to keep sending more information to you. We're going to stuff your brains with good stuff right here. Please like it if you liked it. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned. We'll see you. The squids were squiggly as they squidded along